Does your child struggle with behavior in school? Then you've come to the right place. There's nothing worse as a parent than seeing your child struggle with self-regulation, discipline, or they have an IEP or a 504 plan and it's not working. Take a deep breath. I'm going to give you everything that you need. That's why inside this video, I'm taking you behind the scenes of the behavior intervention plan so you know what it is, what your school must include, how to get one started for your child, and most importantly, your parent rights so you can advocate like a pro. Hey, what's up? I'm April Rarig, your special education advocate and school psychologist to make IEPs and 504 plans so much easier. If you're new here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button to get more videos like this in your inbox, and check us out on Instagram at Rise Ed Advocacy. Here's what you need to know. A behavior intervention plan, often known as a BIP, can also be referred to as a behavior support plan or simply a behavior plan. All of these terms are actually the same thing. Simply said, a BIP is a written plan that explains how your school will support your child with challenging behaviors so they can learn and succeed in school. That's all it really is. A BIP is designed to answer 4 very specific questions. Question 1, why is the behavior happening? Question 2, what your school will do to prevent it. Question 3, what skills your child will be taught differently. And question 4, how will that progress be measured? Here's what your school doesn't tell you. Pro tip. A BIP is not supposed to be about punishment. Quite the opposite. A BIP is designed to build an effective action plan and help to teach your child new skills. Make sure to keep watching this video until the very end, where I'm going to give you all my tools and resources so you can advocate like a pro. So BIPs are written by your school and you as the parent for your child. But here's what your school won't tell you. Pro tip. A BIP is considered part of your child's educational record. That means it needs to be transferred with your child from school to school, and you can get a copy. Most BIPs are created if a child has an individual education plan, also known as an IEP, sometimes known as a program. But here's something that your school is not going to tell you. Pro tip, you can also get a BIP if your child has a 504 plan. You can also get a BIP if your child is in general education and needs additional support. Did they tell that to you? Make sure to watch my entire playlist on 504 plans that spell out what they are, what they look like, and how to get and keep the best one for your child. Grab that link in the description box below. So now you know what a BIP is, let's talk about what it's not. Myth number 1. A BIP is not simply a behavior chart slapped together after your child has had a bunch of discipline issues or suspensions. Myth number 2. A BIP is not just a list of punishments. Myth number 3, a BIP is not simply an excuse to remove your child from class. And most importantly, myth number 4, a BIP cannot be written without your input as parents. So what if your child has an IEP and all your team is talking about is compliance, having quiet hands, having appropriate eye contact, listening, paying attention? All of these terms are subjective and not measurable. That's exactly why I want you to check my next video playlist that lays out tons of IEP to-dos and not do so you can advocate like a pro. Grab that link in the description box below. Let's dig a little deeper. A strong BIP is going to be based on a functional behavioral assessment, also known as an FBA. FBAs look at the triggers, meaning what happens before a behavior occurs. An FBA also describes what a behavior is, what it looks like, and most importantly, what your child is going to get or avoid as a result of that behavior. So many times when schools talk to you about BIPs and FBAs, they also share something called a prompt hierarchy. But here's the problem, pro tip. They don't show you what it's supposed to look like. That's exactly why I want you to check out my first free guide that lays out the different types of prompts and cues and the hierarchy, meaning your child must get the right amount of support for their unique learning needs. Grab that link in the description box below. So FBAs are designed to help your team answer the question of why a behavior occurs. What am I saying? Pro tip, I'm saying that all behavior is actually a form of communication. This means that FBA must help you and your team understand what your child is trying to do and, more importantly, how to get their needs met in a more efficient way. To get all the tools that you need to advocate like a pro, make sure to watch my next video all about FBAs in special education and 504 plans. Grab that link in the description box below. So now you know what is a BIP and an FBA. Let's talk about the most important part of this video, what you need to look for inside your child's BIP. So in a nutshell, supports must be both specific and proactive. Here are the 6 things to look for inside your child's BIP. 1. Clear behavior descriptions that are not subjective and talk about what it looks like. Number 2, prevention strategies that lay out what that teaching staff need to do before a behavior happens. Number 3, replacement skills that spell out what that teaching staff should be doing instead. Number 4, positive reinforcements that spell out how your child should be reinforced. Number 5, adult responses that are clear, consistent, and not punitive. And number 6, data and review that spells out how progress is going to be measured, and most importantly, when your team is going to reconvene to measure if they're making progress, and if not, how to change that BIP. So you're probably listening to this video, and if your child has an IEP, you're like, wait, all this is happening, what do I do? Here's what I want to ask you. Does your child need an IEP or do they need updated testing? How do you know? And this is one of the questions that I got asked all the time as a school psychologist. And that's exactly why I want you to get my second free guide that spells out when is the right time to request for special education testing, whether they have an IEP or they need one. Grab that link in the description box below. So who qualifies for a BIP? Like I mentioned earlier, you can request for a BIP if your child has an IEP, a 504 plan, or even if your child is in general education. What does this mean? This means that your child's behavior does not have to be severe in order to request a BIP for your child. Here's the truth, pro tip. Your child can qualify for a BIP if their behavior is interfering their learning, safety, or educational access. Notice how I didn't say academics in that qualification criteria. So like I just mentioned, your child can get a BIP if they have a 504 plan. But here's the problem. So many times administrators and even teachers aren't trained regularly on how to implement 504s and even Section 504 when it comes to discipline and behavior. And that's exactly why I want you to grab my ultimate 504 guide. Inside my digital guide, it's almost 40 pages in length. There's There's tons of sections that lay out discipline, protecting your child, your procedural safeguards, templates so that you can ask for a 504 plan, all the tools and the resources that you need to protect your child and to advocate like a pro. Make sure to grab that link in the description box below. So let's talk about your parent rights if your child has special education. Here's what you need to know. Pro tip: you have the right to request for a BIP and even an FBA at any time. You also have the right to participate in creating that BIP, get regular updates, ask for revisions or changes if the BIP is not working, and most importantly, expect meaningful progress for your child instead of punishments related to their disability and behavior. Here's the problem. If your child has an IEP, it's so difficult to get a BIP or even an FBA. I know, because when I was a school psychologist for so many years, it was so challenging to get those parents to finally come to me as a school psychologist and get things approved. And this is exactly why I created something called the Additional Testing Template. Inside my fillable guide, it's step-by-step advocacy approved letter that helps you lay out in writing what type of assessment you would like for your child. It gives you all the right words and how to lay out your request. It attaches to your child's educational record. It works so amazing for my clients, and I want to give it to you right now. Grab that link in the description box below. So now that you know all this, do you have a question about your child's BIP, or if they need one? Drop it in the link in the description box below. Do you want me to do more videos? Put it there too. Like and subscribe and share this videos with others so that they can get the best BIP for their child. Check us out on Instagram at RiseEdAdvocacy. I'm April Rarig, your special education advocate and school psych. I can't wait to see you for our next video.